You know those Cheetos are cow food, right?
What?
What's going on, guys? My name is Will.
I'm Allie.
And welcome to another episode of Fun With Will.
And Allie.
That's right.
For everything new with gaming and funny reaction videos, subscribe.
And today's episode we will be talking about, we will be reacting to film theories, Cheetos are cow food. Yeah.
Ew.
Let's see what Matt has to say about this one, guys. Let's get right inside that video.
Here's your feel-good story for the day, theorists.
Let me feel
In
good.
1978, Richard Montañez began working as a janitor at Frito-Lay. One day, a machine in the plant malfunctioned and stopped adding cheese dust to the Cheetos. Fun fact, by the way, the company's official term for Cheetos dust is Cheetle, but I digress. Since the Cheeto-less batch of corn puffs couldn't be sold to consumers, Montañez took some of the unseasoned Cheetos home with him and flavored them with spices reminiscent of Mexican street corn. His spicy, hot Cheetos were a hit with family and friends, and so Montañez pitched the idea to the CEO of Frito-Lay's parent company, PepsiCo. Today, you probably know Montañez's creation as Flamin' Hot Cheetos, a product that has generated over $1 billion in revenue for the company since hitting shelves in the early 90s. And as for Montañez, a janitor who is a 4th grade dropout, he's now a vice president at PepsiCo.
Here comes the money. That's a good story. That's a very good story. His openings are always so good. I always like his openings. Dun, 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 dun.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to Food Theory. If you're hungry to learn, go ahead, snack on that subscription button. What can I say, theorists? Cheetos are just one of those foods. If I eat one, there is no way that I'm stopping until I reach the bottom of the bag.
I was never a fan of
Cheese
Cheetos.
puffs are basically everything I love rolled into one lumpy, lightweight snack. They're fried, they have salt, they have cheese, plus electroencephalogram results show that getting Cheetle on your fingers provides, quote, a sense of giddy subversion that consumers enjoy over the messiness of the product. So really, how am I not supposed to be addicted to these things? The folks over at Frito-Lay have clearly done their research. The Cheeto is a perfect, meticulously engineered snack food, or so it would seem, until you find out that they were a complete accident. You see, theorists, I recently went down a bit of a Cheetos rabbit hole when I started researching the origin story of Flamin' Hot Cheetos. Apparently, a biopic on Richard Montañez's life is in the works with Fox Searchlight, so initially I thought it might be a good topic for the Film Theory channel, but as I dug deeper into the history of Cheetos, I came to realize that the story of a janitor inventing Flamin' Hot Cheetos, as fascinating as it might be, was actually the second most intriguing story about the history of Cheetos. Because what really blew my mind was the story of how corn puffs themselves were invented, or should I say, rebranded. Folks, we were never meant to eat cheese puffs. No human was. Hats off to you, Cheetos. Game recognized game. You almost distracted me with your PR-friendly feel-good story about the janitor, but I'm past all that now. My eyes are open. Here's the real story here, theorists. The one that big snack food doesn't want you to know about. Cheese puffs are repurposed cow food. No clickbait here, friends. Cheese puffs are a straight-up byproduct of livestock.
So that's why I don't like them.
And lest you think that leveling up
It's
from
moo-moo
livestock
food.
feed to human food
What
would be
the
enough for
hell?
the audacious cheese puff, think again. At this very moment, even as we speak, your favorite crunchy cheese snack is quietly rebranding itself yet again. And this time, it's not aiming for the moon, it's aiming for the dang stars. Let's jump right in, friends, because today's food theory is utterly outrageous. The cheese puff's origin story begins in the early 1930s in Beloit, Wisconsin, where a man by the name of Claire Matthews came up with an idea for a feed grinder. This machine was capable of breaking corn and other popular livestock feeds into smaller flakes, which was handy because the smaller sized flakes were easier for animals to ingest. Matthews got a handful of business partners together, and in 1933 they founded the Flackall Corporation, a Beloit-based company dedicated to producing flaked livestock feed with its patented feed grinder. But what they didn't yet realize is that they had also invented the world's first corn puff snack extruder. See, two things would happen whenever their feed grinder was run for an extended period of time. One, the machine would get hot. Two, it would clog. In order to prevent clogging, every so often the machine operators would pour moistened corn kernels through the feed grinder in order to flush it out a bit. Now, if the moistened corn happened to get fed through when the machine was really hot, the corn would come out on the other end in long, puffy ribbons, almost like lumpy, bumpy strings of popcorn. This clip from the BBC actually does a great job of succinctly explaining how a corn puff snack extruder actually works.
The raw maize goes inside, and a tightly fitting spiral compacts it.
As the spiral turns, it forces the maize down towards the end. and the force gets harder and harder and creates heat, and so much heat that when the maize finally gets squeezed out of this tiny little hole here, it's so hot that it cooks it, and you get corn puffs.
Now, the Flackall Corporation didn't give much thought to these puffy
Interesting.
ribbons
Very.
at first. After all, they were just a byproduct of the cleaning process. But if history has taught us anything, it's that anytime something new comes along, someone's gonna put it in their mouth. In this case, that somebody was Edward Wilson, machine
So
operator
true.
at Flackall Corporation. The puffy corn ribbons piqued his curiosity, so he took them home after work one day, deep fried them, then seasoned them with some good old Wisconsin cheddar cheese and salt. Wilson's so-called corn curls were such a hit that the Flackall Corporation made some tweaks to their feed grinder design and patented a brand new machine to pump out corn curls for human consumption. Flackall changed its name to the Adams Corporation in order to fully separate itself from the livestock feed origins, and the Adams Corporation went full on into the corn curls business, which you gotta say is just absolutely crazy when you think about it. Here's a handful of guys from Beloit, Wisconsin set out with a dream to make it in the glamorous world of livestock feed, only to accidentally wind up creating pretty much the most addictingly delicious human feed of all
you
time. Talk about a
kidding
glow
me?
up, huh? So despite its humble agricultural origins, the cheese puff has found its true purpose as a snack food. Or has it? That's right, theorists. I'm here to tell you that the cheese puff
But
may
this
not
is not
have achieved
uncommon.
its final
This is
form
not
yet. In the
uncommon.
1930s,
Like, there have been
it rose
other
above its station as industrial waste and managed to climb the
companies that
culinary
use
social
waste
ladder
to
to the
actually
level of
make
snack
food.
Yeah.
food. Not too shabby. But you see, the cheese puff and
Or
Richard
drinks or
Montanez have
whatever.
more in
Like
common than you might
mouthwash.
think.
Mouthwash is supposed to
Montanez
be
did not
floor
settle for middle
floor
management.
cleaner
He
or
kept
something like
climbing
that.
until he was in the executive suite. And Cheetos refused to stop climbing too. Theorists, if you haven't noticed already, the Cheeto is inventing itself yet again. And this time, it's shooting for acceptance as a legitimate culinary ingredient. You heard that right. Yesterday's cow food wants to be tomorrow's fine dining. And if you think that sounds ridiculous, consider just how far the Cheeto has already come. For decades, people have been working Cheetos into their home recipes, flamin' hot Cheetos in particular. I mean, there are hundreds of Cheetos-infused recipes online for dishes of all types. Hot wings and Jell-O shots that incorporate flamin' hot Cheetos, burgers and sandwiches that use Cheetos for a fun, cheesy
Actually, yeah,
texture
yeah,
change
yeah,
up.
yeah,
If you
yeah,
can
it's true, I've
dream
seen
it,
that.
someone out there has probably tried it. We're talking Cheetos tacos, Cheetos
Yeah.
pizza, Cheetos as a salad topping, Cheetos ice cream. And it's not just
I
people
don't know
messing
about
around
the
in
last
their
part.
Yeah, I
kitchens.
know about
At least
that.
not anymore. Real professional chefs are getting in on the Cheetos game. In 2017, Cheetos launched a pop-up restaurant in New York City called the Spotted Cheetah. The menu, prepared by celebrity chef Anne Burrell, included dishes such as Cheetos meatballs, Cheetos mix-up crusted chicken Milanese, and Cheetos Sweetos crusted cheesecake. That pop-up restaurant was such a hit that Cheetos teamed up with chef Roy Choi the following year in Los Angeles for another pop-up called the Flamin' Hot Spot, which incorporated Flamin' Hot Cheetos into a variety of dishes. And just this year, Cheetos moved into the world of sushi, not as a temporary pop-up either. Hisho Sushi now offers the Cheetos Flamin' Hot Roll on their menu at locations across the US. I mean, it wasn't that long ago that I collabed with Rosanna Pansino on her cooking channel and tried a bunch of these Cheetos creations, and I gotta say, they're not bad. Heck, some of them would be even considered great, provided, you know, they weren't takeout and ordered hours before and sitting around because we were waiting to shoot the video. That video, by the way, is up in the upper right-hand corner of the screen right now. Go watch it. Rosanna and I, we're best buds. She's my sister from another mister. I love her so much. Ro, I've missed you so much this year. Let's do something when it becomes safe to do something together again, please. Now, obviously, the vast majority of people still view Cheetos as a standalone snack food. But the fact is, Cheetos are only becoming more accepted as a cooking ingredient as time goes on. And if you think about it, Cheetos are really versatile as far as ingredients go. First, they come in a wide variety of flavors. So if your dish is sweet, savory, spicy, whatever, there is a Cheeto for the job. Second, Cheetos can be easily
Nice.
ground into crumbs, meaning they can be infused into dishes
That's
the
true.
same way any powdered ingredient could be. And then there's the texture. Cheetos can add an unexpected
that goes
crunch
for
to any
almost
dish it's added
anything
to.
like that.
And
I was
finally,
thinking
it has a
that too. You
distinctive
could
look.
literally
Cheeto
use
can be
anything
added
as
to
a
pretty much
random
any dish as
ingredient.
a garnish. Of course, the mere fact that Cheetos are useful as a cooking ingredient isn't enough. The real test is whether Cheetos can rebrand itself in the eyes of culinary society. No small task for a snack with a cartoon cheetah as its mascot. But such a rebranding isn't unheard of. Plenty of other foods have managed to climb the social ladder, as it were, shedding their low-class status and becoming accepted as fine dining material. Lobsters and caviar, for instance, were once regarded as foods
Inmates.
only fit for prisoners. Today, of course,
Yeah.
lobster is often the priciest item on the menu, and even mid-level caviars can set you back
Jesus knows how much I love
$75
my
for
lobster.
a single single ounce.
They're
And
scavengers,
sushi,
right? So they were like,
truffles,
no
oysters,
one
all
took them
of
seriously.
Have
Like,
enjoyed similar
think
makeovers
shrimps
over
and
the
whatnot
years.
too.
Now, just because these foods achieved culinary acceptance doesn't
Crab.
mean that Cheetos necessarily will. After all, the
They're
foods I just
scavengers.
listed all had it easier than corn puffs. They were considered food when they began their journey to the top. Corn puffs weren't even regarded as food fit for livestock. They were literally industrial waste products. But here's something to help encourage the Cheeto as it trudges onward and upward. A food has managed to accomplish the leap from absolute waste product to top-tier luxury item. Technically, it's a drink, but still. I'm talking about rum. See, in the 17th century, the molasses left over from sugar production in the Caribbean was regarded as an industrial waste product. It was often just dumped into the ocean until someone figured out how to distill it down into liquor. And today, a top-shelf rum will sell for hundreds of dollars per bottle. So take note,
I was
Cheetos,
actually
the
familiar
path
with
from
this.
industrial waste to culinary appreciation does indeed exist. But will the Cheeto be able to pull it off? Will it actually be able to shed its ignoble beginnings and pull off a Richard Montanez of its own? I'm sure not going to bet against the corn puff on this one. Not only are people working Cheetos into recipes more than ever before, but Cheetos has the benefit of having Frito-Lay and PepsiCo on board, helping push their product into the world of fine dining with pop-up restaurants and chef collaborations. I mean, heck, if Tide Pods can make the leap from inedible laundry detergent into snack food for idiots, I see no reason why Cheetos can't go from cow
Remember
food to
that?
snack food to fine dining. And I see no reason why you shouldn't be able to digivolve yourself from absolute noob to master in whatever skill you choose using.
Well, actually, that was pretty informative. I did not know that. I had no clue that Cheetos was basically cow food.
I feel like that was a lot of information that's kind of like taking up space in my brain,
Yeah.
but like also kind of good to know. But also why I don't like Cheetos. So I don't know.
When you think about them making it into a gourmet, like ice cream, I think
that's stupid.
yeah, the ice cream, everything else I kind of got, right? Everything else I kind of got, guys. But the ice cream part, would you eat ice cream Cheetos? Ugh.
No.
Oh, no.
Especially the flaming hot ones. Like that's
I like
weird.
spicy, but spicy ice cream, I think that's taking it a bit.
Yeah. You might as well just put hot sauce on your ice cream
I
and
know,
call it a day.
Just call it a day. Guys, what do you think? Would you put Cheetos in your ice cream? And did you know it was basically from parts of the cow feed that they didn't want? That's very interesting. This is a very good food theory. I really did like this one. Anyway, guys, I'm going to end the video here. My name is Will.
I'm Allie.
Don't forget, guys, where there's a will,
There's a way.
stay golden, my friends.
Bye.